So here's a match between Scotland and the Ukraine. Now, what you can see is that we have Dutched the 1-1, the 1-2, and the 2-1, and we've used, well, it says $59.99 for anyone who's a bit pedantic, but it's a £60 stake. Now, our overall stake we're going to use on this match is actually £100. So we're only starting out using £60 initially, and we're covering these scorelines: 1-1, 1-2, 2-1. Main reason is because any goal that goes in, all these scorelines will remain alive. Now, let me just show you the actual match odds matchup from this. Scotland against the Ukraine. We've got Scotland there 2.66, Ukraine there at 3.05. So this is a very, very even matchup, and it could be hard to decide or even consider who's going to take the lead or who could actually win the match. So that's why we're going to hold back with the next part of our stake, because if we go in and we just back, say, 2-0 and 3-0 to Scotland, well, early goal to Ukraine, both those score lines are dead, and vice versa if we wanted to do it for Ukraine. So doing it the way we're doing it means that we can wait to see who scores the first goal, and if it is Scotland, well, then we just back the 2-0 and the 3-0. Okay, maybe it's slightly better odds, but you could argue it's a much better advantage rather than just going in the market blindly and hoping that Scotland score first. If it is Ukraine who score first, then we cover the 2-0 and the 3-0. Knowing, of course, we've got 1-1, 2-1, and then 2-1 reverse covered as well, and we can manoeuvre from there. So anyway, this one's just about to kick off. Let's see how this goes in play. So a bit of a slow burner, but we finally got a goal, and it's gone to Scotland. So now we know which direction this can potentially go in, and we can now back the 2-0 and the 3-0. Probably not likely to come in. But let me just quickly take a look at that. Okay, no, that's no good. So we need to Dutch it, and we're going to Dutch it with that remaining £40. And we'll just get that in the market. And you'll see that we'll have some green on that 2-0. It's now one of our target score lines. And obviously we have 1-1 covered, and we have a bit more green on the 1-1 and the 3-0. So anyway, one more goal. We'll land on a target score line with this one. Let's see what happens. Scotland 1, Ukraine 0. 80 minutes on the clock. So we got one goal, then we got the second one. We just landed on a target score line here. It's now Scotland 2, Ukraine 0, and time to cash out. Late on in the match, let's cash it out and let's lock in that profit. Remember, we got 55 on that 2-0, 53 on the 3-0. So, I mean, if it went to 2-1, that would significantly improve our situation, possibly. I mean, that's the thing with correct score trading. There's so many possibilities. But I'm going to try and even it out. It's probably neither here nor there, okay? So it's a £46. Okay, we got it up to a £47, all locked in, okay? So anyway, it's a decent little strategy, as you saw there. Remember, we entered covering 1-1, 1-2, and 2-1. It's an even matchup. We weren't too sure which team was going to go for it. In the end, it was Scotland. When Scotland took the lead, we then had the ability to then just cover the 2-0 and the 3-0 in favour of Scotland. We would have done it the opposite if it went to Ukraine. So here we are. We got the second goal, landed on the target scoreline, all cashed out, and the profit is secure. 80 minutes on the clock. Scotland 2, Ukraine 0. And by the way, that was just a clip. If you want to see the full video, including more real-life examples and a full tutorial of the strategy, click the video on the screen. Go grab a nice cold beer, and I'll see you in that next video.